website, the church's website, like the calendar or coming events, you could find it there too. This is Gentle Chair Yoga. I'm Barbara, and I'm happy to have you all here in the room and virtually. Just a quick announcement. Starting next week, we are going to be offering it every week-ish, rather than just every other week. So still Tuesdays and Thursdays, either in church or at home, and then the second Tuesday and Thursday, and then the first Tuesday and Thursday, I'm going to be doing it from home, so it will be YouTube only. Did I say Wednesday? All right, start over. Second and fourth Wednesday in the building and at home. First and third Wednesday just at home. Okay, there you go. Yes. If only you could read my mind and not listen to the words that I'm saying. Okay, so if you are joining us from home, hopefully you have a nice sturdy chair on a non-slip surface. Remember that everything that we do is optional, so I'm going to give suggestions and you do what feels right in your body today. Not what you think you should be able to do or what you could do last week or 10 years from now, but just listening to your body, cultivating wise action. So if your shoes are on, you might want to take them off. It's up to you. And we are going to get started. So for this first part of class, if you would like to close your eyes, you can. We're just going to take a few moments to just kind of settle in, to let go of thoughts of what was happening earlier today or 20 or 30 years ago or plans for the future, and see if you can just be right here, right now, in your body, just noticing sensations in your body. So maybe starting at the feet and just slowly drawing your attention up your body, just noticing sensation. Just noticing how you're showing up this morning in your body. Slowly making your way up. You might notice areas of more ease, maybe areas of more tension or sensation. Just observe. So we're cultivating a compassionate, non-judgmental awareness of what is. And as you make it all the way to the crown of your head, take a few moments to notice your emotional body, your thoughts, emotions. So cultivating this curious, compassionate awareness. How quickly or slowly are your thoughts moving? Are you aware of a particular emotion? Or maybe several? Or maybe you're not particularly aware of emotion, and that's okay too. There is no right or wrong. It's simply noticing what is. And then shifting our awareness to our breath. In yoga, we typically breathe through the nose because that warms and filters and naturally lengthens the breath. But if that's not accessible today for whatever reason, just breathe in whatever way feels comfortable to you. I tend to give a lot of cues through the class about inhaling here, exhaling there. Only listen to them in so much as that is useful to you. If it becomes a distraction, the important thing is to just allow the breath to flow. And as we move through the more active part of our class, just allowing the breath and sensations in the body to be our anchor. So this is a mindful movement class, which means that we are practicing the skill of mindfulness, being able to maintain our attention where we choose for it to be rather than in the past or in the future, just this moment. So that when you notice that your mind has wandered, which it will, because that's what our minds do, I invite you to simply notice that it's wandered without any judgment about it, and gently bring it back to your breath, to the sensations in your body. Whether you have to do that 100 or 1,000 times. Every time you notice your mind has gone away and you draw it back, you are strengthening that mindfulness muscle. So if your eyes are closed, you may choose to open them now. We're going to move into our first pose of the day, which is seated mountain pose. So if you're sitting back in your chair, you might want to just shift away so that so there's space between the back of your chair and your back, and our feet are just planted firmly on the floor, maybe underneath the knees. And think about the spine just lengthening, getting a little bit taller, almost like there's like a plumb line all the way through the crown of your head. So the spine, you could sort of visualize the spine getting tall, and then everything else is just relaxing down. And just breathe. And let's let our hands relax down by our side, maybe shake out the hands, wiggle the fingers a little bit. And we're just going to begin to add movement to the breath. So as we inhale, just allow the arms to come out to the side, maybe up overhead, palms together, and then just draw them through the center line back to your heart. Nice. So we'll just flow that with a breath. Inhale, reaching out and up. Exhale to the heart. Inhaling out and up. Exhale to the heart. And we'll just continue like that. And maybe one shoulder is not as flexible as the other. So maybe you come to here. Maybe it's just one arm. Listen to your body. And if it feels good to stretch a little more, maybe reach through those arms a little bit more. You could even take your gaze overhead to the hands and then follow the fingertips back to the heart for a little movement in the neck. Just a few more here, nice and slow. One more. And then relax your hands in your lap. Breathe here. And just notice the after effects of just that little bit of movement, joining breath and movement. So we're going to move our spine through the 6 movements of the spine. So the first 2 are going to be rounding forward and extending. This is a seated cat-cow. So we'll just inhale here, and on an exhale, just let the chin gently come down, maybe the shoulders round, the back might round. Just stay here for a few moments, just breathing here, noticing sensation in the back of the neck. If that's too much on any part of your back or your neck, just lighten that a little bit. Come out of the pose a little bit. So we're just rounding here, noticing sensation. And then on the next time we inhale, let's just sit up really tall. So maybe we're just sitting tall, thinking of the heart lifting towards the ceiling. Maybe the shoulders come back a little bit. If it's comfortable, you might take your gaze to the diagonal of the room. Face is soft, jaws relaxed. And then we'll just flow through those 2 poses. So inhaling here on an exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Nice and slow. You might be going even slower than me. We don't have to do it in unison. Just moving at the rhythm of your own breath. When you round, if you like, you could reach the arms forward in opposition and feel a little more stretch, maybe across the shoulder blades. When you do that gentle arch, you could take your arms out to the side. They could be goalpost arms. Exhaling, rounding the belly, sort of scoops here. Inhaling, opening. Maybe one more. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. And then relax the hands down in your lap. Spine is nice and long. You might shake it out a little bit. So now we're going to move laterally. So stretching all those muscles between our ribs, those intercostal muscles. And this can really help to open up the lungs, give a little more space for the lungs so we can breathe a little deeper. A lot of times when we're rounded or just going about our day, all these muscles get tight and it gets a little bit harder to breathe. And what we know is that when our breath is more shallow, it tends to create a little bit of anxiety. So if we can stretch out those muscles and take deeper breaths, that can often help with our levels of anxiety or stress. So taking one arm either up to the ceiling or fingertips on the shoulder or on the waist. And just feel that length along the side body. Just breathing here. See if you could get maybe a little more space here. The shoulders relax down. And then float that hand down. Let's take the other arm up. You might notice a difference between one side and the other. Float that hand down, and then we'll just flow with the breath again. So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower. You might feel this in the muscles in the armpit area. If it feels good for the neck, you could even take your gaze up to that inner elbow or hand. If that's not feeling so good in the neck, then you can just look straight ahead. Let's do one more on each side. And float that hand down. Nice. So before we move into our twist, let's just do some circles with the hips. So imagine the spine as a long wooden spoon and we're stirring some soup. Or whatever you want to stir. So hands can be on your lap, they could be on your waist, whatever feels good for you. So it can be helpful to start small, those rotations being small, and then as it feels comfortable for you, you might widen those circles. It might even feel good to widen the feet a little bit. Starting to get some circulation in the hips. And slowly making your way back to center. Pause here, take a breath. And then change direction. Maybe starting with small circles and then letting them get bigger. Slowly making your way back to center. Nice. Maybe walk your feet back in if they were out. March them out a little bit. And coming back to our seated mountain. We're going to move into our spinal twist now. So whenever we're twisting the spine, we want to think about keeping our bottom nice and rooted. So our knees are going to stay basically forward. Think about getting tall in the spine. And we're just going to inhale, lengthen the spine a little bit. I'm going to turn to the right, putting my left hand on the right side of my knee and my right hand maybe on the bottom of the chair, the back of the chair. And I'm gently turning my spine just till I feel sensation. My shoulders are relaxed down, crown of the head lifting. Breathing here. Let's inhale here, exhale, come back to center. We're going to go to the other side now. So my right hand is going to the outside of my left knee, left hand to the chair. Inhale to get tall, exhale, twist. Being mindful not to overstretch the neck. It's just a gentle extension of the spine. Inhale to get tall, exhale, unwind. Nice. Now we're going to flow that side to side. I'm going to add some optional arms here. So inhaling, reaching both arms up. If you like, we're going to turn towards the right. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, other side. And we're just going to flow that with the breath. One more on each side. Let's bring the arms back up and float them down. Nice. Let's just march out the feet a little bit. So we've now moved the spine through all 6 movements. We did forward and back, laterally, and twist. And if you did that short practice every day, that would be a beautiful thing to do. Let's do one more twist while we're here. This might be interesting to you, or it might not be super comfortable for you. So whatever your body is up for today, sometimes it feels good to cross the legs, a regular sort of tight cross. So right now, my left leg is on top. I'm going to bring my right hand on top of my left knee, and I'm going to turn in the direction of the top leg. So my top leg is my left leg. I'm turning to the left. So I'm going to inhale to get tall, 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 tall. Exhale, twist, and breathe. With each inhale, you could think about the spine getting a little bit taller. With each exhale, think about relaxing a little more into the pose. If this cross-legged position's not working for you, you could just do the twist again with both feet on the floor. Let's take one more full breath here. And then the next time we inhale, get a little bit taller. Exhale, unwind. Nice. Shake it out a little bit. Now I'm crossing the right leg over, bringing my left hand to the outside of the knee, getting tall. Inhale, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale and twist. The breath is flowing free and easy. Inhale to get a little bit taller. Exhale, unwind, uncross. Shake it out a little bit. Okay, let's bring our feet wide. Still supported by the chair beneath us. I'm just going to bring my hands on my knees. And I'm just going to bring one shoulder in towards the center line. I can take my gaze over my opposite shoulder if that feels good, or it can be down to the floor if that's too much for the neck. And then come back to center and other side. Just pressing that shoulder towards the center, turning my gaze if that's comfortable, and back to center. And then we're just going to flow just exploring that space. You might feel some length in your lower back here. You might start feeling this in your hips and your thighs. Maybe you want to stay on one side for a few breaths before moving to the other. That's fine. Just see what feels satisfying to you in your body right now. And if you started on the right, if you remember, maybe ending on the left. Coming back to center, walk the feet in. Nice. Let's take our arms out to the side and just reach through the fingertips. Make the arms nice and active from the heart center all the way out through the fingertips. Let the shoulders relax down away from the ears. You might feel quite a bit of sensation just doing this. You can take breaks anytime that you like. And then turning the palms up. Notice how that changes the sensation and what muscles wake up here. And then gently bending the elbows, bringing the fingertips to the shoulders and little circles with the elbows. If you want to do this one arm at a time instead of both arms together, that's totally fine. And after a few revolutions, you might want to make bigger circles, moving those shoulders through their range of motion, their comfortable range of motion, always looking for that sort of sweet spot of satisfying sensation, but without any strain or pain. Noticing where you feel this. You can take breaks anytime you like. And then changing direction, starting small, and letting the circles get wider. Coming back to center and then float those arms down, noticing the after effects of that movement. So these opportunities of some stillness between the movements are just as important as the movement themselves. Just noticing what there is to notice. Let's take our palms together, interlace the fingers, and we're just going to press the hands forward. Little stretch for the fingers, maybe the wrists. You might feel this in the shoulders. If you press your shoulders forward, you might notice this between the shoulder blades. If that's too much, you could just keep it in the hands and the forearms and the wrists. And then gently release, wiggle the fingers. Let's do little circles with the wrists. And then change direction. And let's bring our palms together to heart center. Interlace the fingers again. Let's press them forward. This time, if it's comfortable for you, you might take them up, maybe overhead, wherever your body allows. And then reach the arms out and down. Nice. Let's try that with the breath. Inhale, palms together. Interlace the fingers. Exhale, press forward. You could even round the whole upper back here if you like. Inhale to get tall, pressing wrists back, shoulders back, heart lifting. Exhale, float the arms down. Nice. Let's do 3 more like that. Inhale. Exhale and round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Palms together. Exhale and round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Nice. One more. Inhale. Exhale, press and round. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Nice. Relax your hands. Feel that whatever sensation might be sweeping down your shoulders and arms. Okay, moving down to the lower part of our body. Our feet are right under our knees, and we're just going to come up onto tippy toes. Just notice what that feels like. Let the heels come down and back up to tippy toes. Let the heels come down. You might want to walk the feet a few inches forward so that you can now lift your toes, heels on the floor, and feet down. So let's alternate those. So we're going to go on tippy toes, feet down, back on our heels, and down. If you would like to add some arms, you could come up on your tippy toes, reach the arms up, and then bring the palms forward as you lift the toes. Nice. Inhale, tippy toes, arms reach up, tall spine. Exhale, flex the hands forward, flex the feet. Inhale, tall. Exhale, flex. One more. Inhale, tall. Exhale, flex. Nice. Float the hands down. Let's bring one foot forward. So my heel is on the ground, my toes are coming back towards my knee, and my knee is soft, never locking out that joint. So as I draw my toes back towards my knee, my spine is long, shoulders relaxed. You might feel sensation there in your calf, little calf stretch here. And then press the foot forward. And then draw the toes back. Press the foot forward. Draw the toes back. Press the foot forward. And draw the toes back. Staying right here, we're going to bring the stretch a little bit more into the hamstring. So sitting up nice and tall, 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 tall. And then begin to hinge forward. And when I say hinge, I mean rather than round forward, I'm going to keep my upper body kind of like it's a plank of wood, and it just hinges right here at the hips. So as I draw my toe back, lengthening through the spine and hinging forward, I'm going to most likely feel that sensation move more into the back of the leg and the hamstring. So I'm supporting my weight on my bent knee leg so that I'm not pressing on that joint at all. Breathing here. If you need a little more bend in the knee, that's fine. If you feel like reaching the hand down in the direction of the toes, you could do that if that feels good. Take a breath or two or three here. And then slowly coming back up, walk that foot in. Let's do a little marching, shake it out. Come back to our seated mountain. And then extend the other foot. So drawing the toes back, stretching through the calf or the ankle. And then pressing that foot forward, stretching the top of the foot, the shin. And draw it back. And press it forward. Draw it back. And press it forward. Nice. Then let's draw the toes back, sit up a little bit taller, supporting ourselves on that bent knee side. Spine is long, tall, 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 tall. And then begin to hinge forward. And the taller you bring your spine as you hinge, you don't have to go very far before you start feeling that in the back of your leg. So there's no destination. It's not like, oh, if only I could reach my toes or something. It's really just when do you start to feel that sensation? And that's what we're going for. So that allows the muscles to begin to lengthen, to open up, relax. If you'd like to let your fingertips glide down in the direction of your toes, you could do that if that feels good. And for these poses that we hold longer, it's a great opportunity for our mind to wander. If you notice that's happening, It's also a beautiful opportunity to practice mindfulness, to notice and gently guide back to the sensation that you're feeling. Slowly making your way back up. Step that foot in, walk it out a little bit. You might even want to rock a bit from side to side. So we're going to do some hip openers now. So for our hip openers, you have some options here. What we're going for is just rolling this thigh open. So just to start getting into that idea, let's just let one knee fall out to the side. Think about that thigh kind of rolling open. Bring it back to center, other side. And then just side to side. Just getting a little bit of movement. Warming up those hip flexors, those other muscles around the hip and thigh. Okay, coming back to center. And then the options are you can cross one ankle over the other to let that thigh open. You can bring the foot above the knee. You can have the other foot flat on the floor. Whatever works for you. And now that we're here, just a passive stretch. You don't need to do much of anything because those muscles are sort of opening on their own. While we're here, we might as well roll that ankle. It's great to move your body parts, your joints through their range of motion. Because a lot of times just living our life, we might just move them in one way. And then all those other ways get kind of stiff and it can be limiting. And then change direction with that ankle. Nice. And then coming back to stillness for a moment. And from here, just grow a little bit taller, 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 taller. And notice as you grow taller, all of a sudden that might bring some more sensation to that outer hip. Breathing here, this might be the perfect pose for you right now. You might not need to do a single other thing other than just think about long spine, shoulders relaxed, face relaxed, jaws soft. If you would like a little more sensation, you could slowly begin to hinge forward. Again, it might be a millimeter or two before you press up against your edge, that place where you feel satisfying stretch but without any strain or pain. Maybe after a few breaths, you want to explore the space a little bit deeper. If you notice as you hinge forward that it starts to tweak your knee, you need to listen to the knee and come out of the pose. So there might be part of your body that like wants to go deeper and then another part of your body that is saying, oh, too far. You always have to listen to that voice that says too far. Slowly come up, and before we uncross, maybe just take your hand under that knee and just gently bring it up and down. And then I'm going to make a hammock under my knee, uncross, and just let that lower leg swing. And float that foot down, march it out a little bit. And let's cross the other leg. It might be here, it might be here, it might be here, it might be somewhere else. Just breathing here, letting the body get used to this new posture. And then let's roll the ankle in one direction. Roll pull the ankle in the other direction. And then sitting up a little taller. Breathing into that deep sensation in the hip. Knowing that you're always in charge of how much sensation you feel. And as you breathe and pay attention to the sensations that you're feeling, you might begin to go to explore, going a little deeper. Slowly making your way out. Let's support that knee and just bring the knee up and down towards the heart center. And I'm going to make a hammock under my knee and just let that leg swing. And float that foot down, step it out a little bit. Let's bring our hands down by our side, back to our seated mountain, nice and tall. Inhale to bring the arms out and up. Palms together to the heart. 2 more like that. Inhale. Exhale to the heart. Inhale. Exhale to the heart. Nice. Relax your hands down. Let's step the feet wide. Let's do that same movement that we did earlier where we're just pressing our chest forward and then bringing one shoulder and then the other shoulder. Might feel a little different than we did earlier in our practice. And then coming back to center. And this time I'm going to bring one hand to one knee and let the other arm reach up, up, up. And this time I'm going to let it come over. You might imagine that your heart is sort of twisting in the direction of the ceiling. Inhale to get tall. Exhale, lower that down. Other side. Arm reaches up and maybe over. So even as we're reaching over, we're really thinking about getting tall, tall, tall in the spine rather than sort of collapsing. Inhale to get tall, exhale, lower. We're going to do that one more time on each side. If you would like a little, I can't think of the word, but if you would like to sort of press on your leg, you could take the back of your hand to the knee, reach the other arm up and over. Leverage is the word. You could press a bit in if that feels supportive in the pose. And then inhale to get tall, exhale down, other side, maybe a little bit of leverage, pressing the back of the hand, or just reach it up and over. See, this class can also help you feel better about any word finding issues that you might have, since I've now demonstrated that about 5 times. Inhale to get tall, exhale, lower it down. Really nice. Let's walk those in. We're going to do a little bit of forward folding, then we're going to do some balance, and then final relaxation. So for our forward fold, feet about hip width apart. One option is to just come down on your elbows and just let the head hang. This can be a lovely, relaxing pose for many people. Just Feeling the weight of the head hang. A little bit of release in the lower back. Notice if you're clenching your teeth, and if so, see if you can let that go. If you would like to go a little bit deeper into a forward fold, you could let your upper body rest on your lap and let the head hang here. If this is too much and the other option was not enough, another option if your home is to get a pillow and put it on your lap and hang over the pillow. You can come up anytime you want. I'm going to stay down here for 3 or 4 more breaths, really seeing if I can let go of the weight of the head and let it hang like a pendant on a chain. Maybe even nod the head a little bit, letting it swing. Can nod the head, yes please. Can shake the head, no thank you. It's important to know how to say both. And then when you're ready, nice and slow, you can walk your hands up to your knees, slowly coming up. Let the body adjust to that upright position again. You might feel a little lightheaded. That's okay. Give yourself a moment. And before we stand up, let's do just a little bit of neck and shoulder. I'm going to bring my arms out to the side. Palms up. I'm going to roll my right shoulder. So now my palm has reached down and back and maybe up a bit. And then I'm going to bring that one back and roll the other one. And bring that one back. Now this time as I roll my right shoulder, I'm going to look over my left. And then coming back to center, roll the left shoulder, look over the right. So nice and slow at my own pace. I'm just going to move from side to side. And then bringing both palms up. Let's take them up overhead, palms together, exhale to the heart. Nice. Hands by our side or on our lap. We're going to stand and do a little supported tree pose. So before we stand, just see if you can bring all of your attention, all your mindfulness to the process of standing. If you're still feeling a little lightheaded from having your head forward, maybe give yourself a few more minutes. But if you're ready, go ahead and slowly stand up, feeling all those muscles work to bring you to a standing posture. Step it out a little bit. Coming to our standing mountain pose. So just like when we were sitting, feet are about hip width apart, feeling all that energy come up, up, up through the spine. Nice long spine. Everything relaxes down. And then to move into our balance pose, you can come to the side of your chair or you can come behind your chair. If you have a wall, you could put your hand on the wall, whatever feels most comfortable for you. So starting from a nice supported pose, I'm just going to shift my weight over one foot, bring my toes on the floor, heel over the ankle. So just finding our balance there before moving on. And then, if I like, I can bring my foot up to my calf. I could play with taking my hand off the chair. I could bring my palms to heart center. Maybe I tap down. So it's just a process of coming in and out of balance, finding our way back in. Now you might notice that your belly muscles are waking up in this pose. Breathing here. And for the next few breaths, just kind of finding your balance. You might come out of it, finding your way back in. When you're ready, you can slowly come out of it, shake it out. Notice how much work that supporting leg does in a balance. And coming to the other side. So now I'm shifting my weight over the other foot, toes on the floor, heel over the ankle. And then I'm just finding my way into whatever version of tree challenges me a little bit today. Remembering that focusing our gaze can help to focus our mind and can also help us in our balance. And our balance changes moment to moment, as we are seeing, and also throughout the day and over time. But what we do know is balance is a skill that improves with practice. So anytime during the day, you could be practicing balancing on one foot, brushing your teeth, standing in line, and slowly making your way out of the pose. Shake it out a little bit. Let's come back down to our chair. Yeah. Yes, it sure does. One side is also going to be, you're probably going to notice a difference from one side to the other. You also might notice a difference if you're more tired that day, or you haven't eaten as much that day. So all of those things affect our balance. So they're all good things to just kind of notice. And you might notice that you have better balance in the morning than you do at night. So there's all that variability, side to side, time, all that thing. And again, what you would notice if you kind of graphed it over time is that as you practice, your balance in general would improve. And it's a great thing to practice. Okay, so we're going to move now into final relaxation. So if there are any last movements that you would like to do that just feels like it could use a little more stretch, a little more movement, let's just do that now. Just move in any way that feels good. And when you're ready, just find your way into a comfortable position for you. You might sit all the way back in your chair. You might lie down. You might put on a sweatshirt or toss a blanket over you. We usually get cooler as we move into final relaxation. So when you're ready, if you'd like, you could let your eyes close for this last part of class. If you're at home, there's no reason why you have to end at the end of our hour. You could continue your relaxation as long as you like. So, just beginning to settle in for these last few minutes. We'll do this for about 5 or 6 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes. Just settling in, and see if you can just tune into the rhythm of your own breath. You don't need to change a thing, just floating on the rhythm of your breath. Bless you. And as you breathe, You might notice, imagine a gentle stream of relaxation flowing in through your toes, relaxing your toes, your feet, heels and ankles. Following that stream of relaxation as it moves through your shins and calves, the knees, the sides of the knees, the backs of the knees. Following that stream of relaxation through the fronts and the backs of your thighs, your pelvis, hips, low back and belly, middle back and rib cage, chest and upper back. Letting that stream of relaxation flow through all your internal organs, healthy and relaxed. Let it flow through your shoulders, your arms, your wrists, hands, and fingers. Relaxing fingertips. Follow that stream of relaxation as it flows through the back of your neck, the sides of your neck, and your throat, your jaw, lips, and tongue, cheeks, eyes, eyelids, eyebrows, the space between your eyes, the big brow muscles, soft and relaxed. Relaxation flows through the base of your skull all the way to the crown of your head, and your body rests. Allow that stream of relaxation to flow through your mind, relaxing thoughts, relaxing emotions, and the mind rests. Just expanding your awareness to your whole self. Just allowing it to rest. Allow your whole body to breathe. And just breathe and be. And as you rest and breathe, maybe just noticing any shifts or changes in how you're feeling in your physical body from the beginning of class. Things are always shifting and changing. You might notice any changes in your emotional body. Maybe noticing any areas of greater openness or ease. And when you're ready, you can begin to slowly maybe wiggle your fingers and toes, maybe breathe a little more deeply, feeling a little more rested and alert with each breath. You might begin to stretch or move in any way that feels right and good for you in this moment. Maybe opening your eyes if they've been closed. And bring your palms together at a heart center. Peace, shanti, shalom, salam, peace. May peace fill you and surround you, and may you be an instrument of peace in your own life and in the lives of all of those that you touch. And as we open our eyes into the next moment of our life, we say namaste, which means the light in me bows to and honors the light in you. Namaste.